Wrestling fans, boxing fans, and everybody out there, how are you? It's ride time. It's ride time. Now, on this channel, I usually cover boxing and wrestling. I will cover the sport of boxing, but it's going to be a little different. Now, I love to play video games. Games like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Rocky Legends, things of that nature. As you know of the Creed series, Adonis Creed, played by Michael B. Jordan, they're going to do a Creed 3 soon. They had the virtual reality Creed game. It was called Creed Rise to Glory. It's a great game. It's a virtual reality game. It's one hell of a workout. For the people that have it, you know what I'm talking about. But there was also another Creed video game. It's called Big Rumble Creed Champions Boxing. And it has all the original characters in it: Clubber Lang, Ivan Drago, Victor Drago, Adonis Creed, Apollo Creed, and so many others. But there's a lot of good things about the game, a lot of good things. And I'm a fan of boxing games as well as like sports games like football, basketball, boxing, things like that. And for those of you who remember Fight Night Champions, and things like that, we haven't had a boxing game in so long, and we're waiting for EA Esports Fight Club, Esports Boxing Club. It's for PlayStation 4 and 5. I'm still waiting on that release date so I can pick it up. It looks like a great game. Riddick Bowe is in it. Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Morrison. It's going to be a great game across the board. But for the boxing fans who love boxing games, we haven't had a boxing game in a long time. Esports Boxing Club, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting on that release date. It's going to be great. Riddick Bowe, Tommy Morrison, Larry Holmes. The list goes on and on. Muhammad Ali is going to be in it. Ray Leonard's going to be in it. It's going to be great. Now, Creed, Big Rumble Creed Champions. I like the game. It's a great game to play, but there is a lot of things that the game is called Big Rumble Creed Champions. But the problem that I see with it, as good as the game is, there's no champion mode. There's no champions. It's called Creed Champions, but there's no mode for championship belts. There's no tournament mode where you can crown a champion. There's no stepping stone belts. If you're going to call it Creed Champions, you need a champion mode. You need a tournament mode that you can crown champions. World champ, minor champ, amateur champ, whatever. But you need a championship mode. I would like to see Tommy Gunn in this one, because if you guys remember, the late Tommy Morrison played Tommy Gunn, and he was in Rocky and Rocky Legends. I would have had him in here. I would have had him in the game. I would have had Union Kane. I would have had Union Kane. Rocky 5, that's who Tommy Gunn took the world title from. So I would have had both of them in the game. I would have had this a little bit like Rocky Legends, where everybody has a career path. Everybody has a career path, from Adonis Creed to Danny Wheeler, the stuntman. That was played by Andre Ward. Danny Wheeler, forgive me, I can't pronounce his name, but Danny Stuntman Wheeler was played by Andre Ward. Andre Ward, one of the best professional boxers on the planet, untouched, undefeated. And he was in this game as well. Now, the training montages, they're way too difficult. Way too difficult. Way too difficult. It shouldn't be that difficult. I would have had, if I was doing the video game, I would have had the old school. I would have paid homage to the Rocky games, like Rocky Legends and the first Rocky, with different arenas, more than the ones that they had. Ricky Conlan, that was played by Tony Bellew. I would have gave him a career path. But there was no champions in Creed Champions, Big Rumble Creed Champions. That's a problem. If you're going to call it Big Champions, then get some belts in there. Get a tournament mode. Put a title defense mode in there. I would have put it where you have like 3 or 4 stepping stone belts. After you win all 4, or all 3, maybe 4, once you win all the stepping stone belts, all the region, like after you win the 3 or 4 regional or stepping stone belts, then you're in world title contention. And they have like 3 stepping stone belts before you get to the big one. And after you get to the big one, you start competing against guys like Tommy Gunn, Union Kane, Ivan Drago, Clubber Lang, Apollo, Rocky, things like that. That's what I would have done with it. But as a video game as a whole, look, I love boxing games. I love fighting games. I like games like Street Fighter and things of that nature. So I'm happy that we have Creed Champions. But there's a lot of things that could have been done with it that could have made it a lot better. As a grade, I give it a C. I give it a C because it's good for what it is, but it could be a lot better. A lot better. I'd like to see a part 2 to this video game. I'd like to see a part 2 to it. And I'd like to see a part 2 to it to see what they're going to do from here, from this point on. I'd like to see it. And but Creed Champions, I give it a C. I give it a C. I'm still waiting on the Esports Boxing Club. That game is going to be amazing. It's going to be fire. And Now, onto the sport of boxing. Shakur Stevens puts on a dominating performance at 130 or 135 pounds. And the sport of boxing is on fire at this point. Big ups to Shakur Stevens for his win. I can't wait for that Terrence Bud Crawford, and Sean Porter fight. It's going to be amazing to watch. Like I said in my last bid, the fans are going to win. This is the first video game thing that I've done. I don't know if it's going to be a regular thing that I do, but this was the first one that I did. But I will say this. Shouts out to Michael B. Jordan. Shouts out to everybody involved with Creed. The first two were great. They were terrific. I can't wait to see the third one. And rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman and Nelson Ellis. Two terrific actors gone too soon. I can't wait to the Creed 3. Possibly a Creed 4 if the third one goes well, which I believe it will. Shout out to everybody involved with Creed. Like I said, I'd like to see another Creed Rumble Big Champions. And hopefully the next video game will be better than this one. Wrestling and boxing forever. Ride time. I'm out.